to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone. Kind of messed this one up because I'm not at home. I'm away, as you can see. So just made it back home to do a live show, and for some reason I cannot stream landscape. But yeah, it's on my phone, so I just need to kind of improvise. Let me check one sec. People in the chat, let me know if I'm live, because for some reason it's not coming through on the live stream. Oh, it is. I'm live. Yeah. So mess that one up. But anyway, quick live, half an hour or so, because a lot of things happened today. Things I wasn't really expecting, especially not the Conceição one. The Gonzalez one was yeah, it was expected. That's why I kind of prepped the video. It was reported that even yesterday we all knew that it was going to happen. It was going to happen that we were going to sign Gonzalez. I think everybody knew we were going to sign Gonzalez for a good, I don't know, 2 weeks now. Like the only potential issue was that the Atalanta could come back into the race, which obviously didn't happen because they signed other priorities. Yeah, they had other priorities, and they made that deal happen. So the Gonzalez one kind of happened. I will talk about Conceição in a second. People, by the way, this is improvised. I just got home, not in my setup, to just do a quick live, and then I'm heading out again. But the Gonzalez one, before we move to Conceição, excuse me, is that it's a 5 million loan. I think it is. It's 5 million in loan deals. It's a 20 million obligation to buy, and it's about 2 easy bonuses and 2 difficult bonuses. So let's say it's a total deal of 40 million euros. And by the way, MJY, thanks for joining the members club. If you want to join the prediction league, reach out to me on social media, and I will put you in the private members group, and you can do the prediction league. But 38 for Gonzalez is a lot of money, you know, and I know that in today's world, you know, we overpay for these players. Like, we overpay for a lot of players. We overpay for Vlahovic. We overpay for Locatelli, in my opinion. We overpay for Douglas Luiz, but it is what it is. You know, everybody is overpaying. I can 100% understand that. You know, that's the situation right now, and we're fully aware of that. Like, we're all fully aware of that situation. But 38 for Gonzalez, for me, is a lot of money because of a simple reason. Because, like I said in my previous videos, we need to get back to the top in Serie A, which I think Gonzalez will help us. I get that, and that's fair. I think that's why the club was looking at Gonzalez. That's how they viewed that deal. That's why I said in an earlier video this week, I think for the club, this is a top deal. For that simple reason, basically. It's a top deal because they can sign Gonzalez on a cheap, basically. Man, why is the stream not working? Give me one sec. Here we go. That's why I thought it was a top deal, you know, signing Gonzalez. However, 38 million euros is a lot of money for me, for a player who will get the GA. Gonzalez will get the GA, and I think it will be brilliant under Motta. I think it will be a very good signing, you know, and probably will justify his 38 million euros if you look back at it. That's the feeling I have. But he's not a player. I think people will be kind of disappointed with Nico Gonzalez because he's not a player who will be excited. You know, we will not get you off your seat. He will get the GA. And right now, I think that's what the club is looking for, you know. So 38 million, we can discuss that for months, basically. Only time will tell if that was the right call. But he was the main target. So, like I said, if it's sustainable for the club, you need to back your coach, and that's what they're doing right now. The big surprise of the day was obviously Conceição, because yes, we were in for him, and the talks were ongoing yesterday, you know, and Jadon Sancho was still in the mix, and somebody asked about Jadon Sancho. Talk about that in a sec. Conceição was a name of interest, but it was, yeah, we're offering a loan with an option, and they want an obligation, so on. And actually, the news was talks will pick up again tomorrow, and we will see. And out of the blue, like literally out of the blue, it's a done deal. Conceição is playing for us next season on a 1-year loan. Now, first reaction, it's a 1-year loan, 7 million and 3 million if we make the Champions League. If we qualify for the Champions League, we will need to pay Porto an additional 3 million above the 7 million euro loan deal. Now, first impression, like if you read the news on face value, which I did, which we all did, it's like, that's insane. You're paying 10 million euros for a player for 1 season who you potentially regard as a very good player. You know, that is ridiculous. And that was my first reaction. And then the news came tripling down. And even right now, there's a big confusion on the news. So what I gathered from the news, and it's from a Bola, you know, which is a Portuguese outlet, is that there was a release clause from 30 right now that's gone. There is a release clause next season, and I know Mirko Di Natale and even Pedula, like what Pedula said, what Pedula basically said is until the 30th of July 25, it's 30 million. After that, it's 45. That is it. That's basically what Pedula is reporting. What Portuguese reports are reporting is slightly different. It's saying it's 45 starting from next season. It was 30 before right now. So that's the point. So on face value, it's an insane deal. But when you sit back, which I did, and you think about it, how I view this deal, and then we'll talk about the player, obviously. And people smash the like button because we only have 25 likes, and subscribe. How I view the deal is that there's not a lot of time, and we do not want to commit. We don't have that money right now, you know. And Porto want that money, and it's not easy to get that deal done right now to figure it all out. So on, so on, so on. And they want to move on Conceição, and Conceição wants to leave as well. How I view it right now is that it's basically postponing, like Kari's saying, basically buying a bit of time, you know, a bit of time to do the signing next summer. So for me right now, if you look at it, it's a loan with an option to buy. And the difference is everybody has the option. We have no exclusive right to trigger that release clause. What we do have is a good relationship, and maybe Conceição having a very good season, and he's like, I want to stay with Juve, and you activate that 30 million euros. Yes, you paid 40, basically then, 7 plus 3 plus 30, excuse me, you're paying 40. However, what you gather from the news is there's a good relationship with Porto and Juve, and they will figure it out during the season. And maybe you are going to pay the 30 million release clause, but maybe, and I'm just saying maybe, the release clause was 30 million euros payable in 2 financial years, whatever, in 2 financial moments, basically. But if you negotiate that 30 million clause, maybe Porto's like, you can pay that in 4 or 5 years, like we apparently are going to do Nico Gonzalez. Then the club is very okay with overpaying 10 million euros if that's spread over 5 years. That's how I'm looking at that deal right now, you know? So it's like Julian's saying, it's kind of good faith. It is good faith. And Anina's saying it's 30 right now, 45 after, and next season it's the same thing. Before July 30 and after 45. So it's kind of a good faith deal. It's kind of, there is an option, but there is no exclusive option. However, if Conceição plays well, he's probably going to say, I want to play with Juve. I want to stick with Juve. And that means Juve are like, okay, fine. You know, we're going to trigger that. But Porto, we paid a big fee up front already. Let's spread that 30 million euros over, 4 or 5 years. And that's how you kind of structure that deal. That's how I am looking at it. On the flip side, Conceição can completely flop. You wasted 10 million euros, but you didn't waste 30 million euros. Is that good business? No. But we left it so late that that's it. We left it so late that we have no option right now. That's what it is. You know, you do this deal, you make this happen financially, you do this type of deal, or you have Timothy Weah and that's it for the entire summer. And that's not really a shot to Timothy Weah, but that's a shot to you have one player and that's it. And maybe using McKennie or something like that. That's the situation we're in. So we have really no choice right now, you know. So that's how I'm looking at this type of deal. Is it the best of deals on face value? If we were thinking filthy rich, then yeah, 10 million. If it's gone, it's gone. but we're not. So it is kind of a risk. We paid, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is it around 5 million euros to sign Alcaraz on loan for 4 months, and he played, was it 3 games, 4 games? That looked horrible at the end of the season, and it was horrible. The Conceição one can look the same, and even if Conceição plays well, he can still say, thank you, Juve, but I'm pushing it right now. Man City are in for me, or Bayern Munich are in for me, and it's like, thank you, but I'm going to Bayern or Man City. Then yeah, the 10 million is a waste of money, because you pay 10 million for a player, you put him out there to show for the world to see, and then he's like, thank you, but I'm going to take an even higher step. So there are risks attached to it. There are good things attached to it, especially for a club in need for money. Like, we're doing loan options and whatever. Even the Gonzalez one, it's a loan with an obligation. Because the obligation kicks in February basically. It's an obligation basically, but it's still a loan. It's still kind of a loan. So, considering our situation, we need to take risks, and that's one hell of a risk. It can look fantastic, and it can look absolutely shambolic. For you lost 10 million, because he didn't play well, or he played fantastic and another club swoops in and he convinced Conceição to not stick. Now, in a normal world, if you're Conceição, if you're a player and you have a spectacular season, you like Motta, everything is going fantastic, you're like, yeah, this is the next step for my career, especially for the next couple of seasons. I need to keep growing, So that's kind of the feeling right now. And the fact that he pushed for us and didn't jump for the big Saudi money, I think the club's like, okay, good faith, like Julian said early on. It's all in good faith, and we will see. We will see. So that's the Conceição one. On the player, because actually we talked about the deal, but we didn't really talk about the player. So everybody in the chat, before you like the video, what do you think about Conceição, the player? Because and also I cannot really read the chat completely, because for some reason I'm not sure why it's doing it on the phone. I cannot scroll up completely, but I will try to remember a few. But what do you think about Conceição, the player, in general? Forget about the 1 year loan and 2.5 wages, Semirico Di Natale. Let me know, what do you think about the deal? Do I run the channel alone now? Yeah, but Julian is on occasionally, and other guests as well. So not really. Like, I run it alone, but I'm not alone. But yeah, on Conceição, the player, I think completely different to Gonzalez. He's a player who will create stuff, and maybe Julian has the stats ready to put in the chat. But if you compare it to Gonzalez, it's obvious. A bit like Jadon Sancho as well. That's a player who will create a lot of things basically, which we definitely need. I don't think Weah is a very good creator. He creates a lot of space and problems, but also problems for himself at a certain level, at a certain point on the field. So it's good to have that type of player out there. Now, my my concern is that he's heavily one-footed, which kind of makes him predictable, and he's not elite where it's like it's predictable, but you're unstoppable. That is my slight issue right now, but I think he will do a good job. I think he will do a good job. Probably everybody watched him at the Euros and the impact he had when he came on as a sub. Small sample size, but you saw what he brought. I think he brings what we all hoped Chiesa would still be bringing last season. Kind of that intensity vibe where it's like, I'm going again. I'm going to take on players. I'm going to create stuff here and there. That's the type of feeling. With Gonzalez, it will be casual. It will be clean. It will be business as usual. Like I said, it will be steady. It won't be flashy, and I have no issue with that. But with Conceição, it's more like that. It's more like that. So on the player, I'm okay with it. Forget about the deal right now. On the player, I'm okay with that. And thanks for the kind words, Marco. He's a great player, very creative. Apparently, he's a good dribbler. Conceição, a creator. Gonzalez, a finisher. Chico's the second best dribbler in the world according to. Yeah, I saw that. Who was first, Julian? Because I saw that stat flying by. Who was on first? I forgot about that. He can play right wing, useful sub like for. I don't think Conceição will be a sub. I don't think he will be a sub. I know he's on loan. I don't think he will be a sub. Oh, depending on what you mean with sub, by the way. If he's gonna rotate 50-50 games, then yeah, sub. But right now, I don't think he's being viewed as a sub, to be honest. Good VU1. Oh, Doku. Yeah. Oh, I don't like Doku as a player because yes, he's the best dribbler, but he has absolutely no end product. It's if we get that with Conceição, I would be frustrated as hell. If he plays like Doku, in terms of like, because when you watch Doku play, for me it's frustrating because he has pace, he can dribble, but it's like a car crash every single time. Like the output is is not there. It's frustrating, but we will see. Yeah, no, we're not talking about end product, but that's what I was saying. Like, hopefully the end product is not Doku's end product because, I don't want to talk about that. That's horrendous for a player with his abilities. Okay, so that's that. Starting 11 for Verona. Let's see. I will do my preview tomorrow live in the usual setup. So stay tuned for that. But I think you don't need to. There are not a lot of question marks for the starting 11. It's the same theme with Savona and Douglas Luiz, basically. So now who will sit the most? It's got to be Conceição. What do you mean, Norbert? You mean on the bench? Any news about outgoings? Chiesa apparently Barca are confident, which I still do not believe because they failed to register Dani Olmo for today's game. So anyway, like Di Marzio can put out 1,000 tweets that Chiesa is close and it's optimistic. Dani Olmo is not allowed to play. So how am I supposed to believe that Chiesa is close? Like that's ridiculous at that point. Okay, Jadon Sancho and Koopmeiners really quickly. Because Koopmeiners is still the main target. Like there is no update. That's the update. It's the main target, and if you believe every single report out there, Atalanta are pissed, and that's why they're holding up the deal. That's it. That's as simple as that. There's no ifs and buts. If Atalanta's like, you can finally leave, he will be there. That's kind of it. There's no update on Koopmeiners. On Jadon Sancho. Yesterday, the rumors were that, hey, we're going to sign 3 wingers, which I don't believe. It's if we sell Chiesa and Kostic. If you're going to sign, like, Koopmeiners is the main priority. The only way you're going to get Jadon Sancho, like I said yesterday, if Man U are like, yeah, please just take him. We pay 50% of his wage, and let's include an option, not even an obligation, and a very a very small low fee. Let's say 4 or 5 million. Then at that point, I believe Juve is like, yeah, let's do this. No harm. 5 million. We have an extra player. You pay the money, whatever. Right now, I don't think Man U are in that situation. However, ask me that again on next Wednesday, unless another team swoops in. But right now, I don't see a team coming in and saying, hey, Man U, let's do an obligation at 45. Let's loan him for 1 season right now, and we pay the full wages. That's not on the board at all. It's not even close. So right now, I think Man U is still holding up. But come Wednesday, when there's like 2 or 3 days left, yeah, everything can happen. Like really, everything can happen. And the main thing right now is Koopmeiners. I've seen people discuss. It was actually a good debate on social media that about Koopmeiners and bring in 3 wingers and play Yildiz. For me, that's a disaster. And not the idea of playing Yildiz is a disaster. The idea of failing to hand Motta at least one of his prior. Yeah, Di Gregorio, but whatever. That's also future. Like Chesney contract running out 7 million. That's that. If you fail to hand them a ball-playing centre-back, going from Calafiori to Todibo, ending up with Kalulu, and then at the end of the summer, you're like, you didn't get Koopmeiners, but you got 3 wingers, 2 of them on loan, who maybe are not going to be here next some season. That's horrendous. Like, no matter what you did, and I like certain moves we did, I don't like certain deals we did, and people will tell you you're never happy. No, like, I will be happy if we're back at the top again and win consistently. Then I will be happy. Then I will rest. Then I will take a day off. Right now, if you fail to sign Koopmeiners and you hand him 3 wingers, yeah, on paper you like play Yildiz there and switch it around, but in the mindset of Thiago Motta, it's like, that's my guy. That's the guy I wanted. That's the guy I needed to actually take us to the next level. And forget about, oh, but we got Douglas Luiz and we got Thuram and McKennie. McKennie signed for 1 year. That's very clear what the idea is. Next season, get out. You have 1 season to figure out how the hell to leave this club. That's what McKennie. It's not long term. It's a 1 year deal, bridge gap, to not lose him on the free and think about it for a year so you can move the hell out of this club. That's a McKennie deal. So forget about McKennie right now. And even Locatelli, these players, even Fagioli, if they don't perform this season, they will be on the market next season. Vlahovic, they will all be on the market if they don't show up this season. So I don't have an issue with overloading that midfield, basically. Also, like Conceição, if you sign Sanchez, like, they're not your players. You're not sure they're going to be here next season. Koopmeiners, you buy. You know he's going to be here for the next couple of seasons. So in Motta's mind, he is a key player, and you need to deliver. So if we end up missing out on Koopmeiners, I forgot the name Koopmeiners. The name could be, I don't know, name a random player nobody heard of. If that was a priority and you failed, then you failed. That's it. You know, you made good signings and the team improved. I'm not going to deny that, and obviously that's very clear. However, the main guy, the guy your coach needed to make his idea work, you didn't deliver, and for me that's an issue. That's how I view it. Do I think Koopmeiners will come? Yeah, I think it will. I think it will arrive. I think it will sign, because they're in a situation where it's this toxic that, again, how are you going to bring him back? By the way, people, almost 100 people voted on the poll, but we have 50 likes, so that's kind of ridiculous. So 50 people are lying. So hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to go for another 10 minutes and then I need to head out again. I just came back to do the live and then I need to go. So put in your questions so I can read out a few, or comments, and I will debate that as well. Situation on Vice Vlahovic, it's Milik. It's Milik. It's Milik, only he's injured. I have, when did he got injured? Was it it was before the Euros, right? That he got injured? He's out for a good 2 months, or am I lying? Didn't he get injured before the Euros? So he's almost out for, what is it, a month and a half at least? And he's still not in training? Like, that's why I said, like, if you find a good offer for, if there's a good offer, excuse me, from Milik, you move him on. June the 7th. Yeah, so a month and a half, you know, almost like pushing 2 months. So if you had a good offer from Milik, I always said, get him out. Get him out. You know, he's on. Oh, June, excuse me. Oh my God, that's insane. Oh yeah, June. June. I was thinking about July. That's insane. Oh, that makes it even worse. Yeah, sell. No, if there was a good offer, you needed to move on Milik. I forget about he's a good backup. He's injury prone. He's on 3.5 million. It's not worth it. But there is no offer, and he doesn't want to leave. So I was like, yeah, keep him as a backup. Do not create any more issues in terms of, like, I need to sign another additional 1-2 players, which was never going to happen. You know, it's not realistic. But he's not fit. So you just have Vlahovic running out there. You know, and that was my point right now. Aston Villa and Arsenal fight. Are they playing? I forgot they were playing, by the way. What's the score, Julian? They created a weird rivalry between each other, Aston Villa and Arsenal, between the fans, which is absolutely hilarious. Like, Arsenal fans are actually pure banter. It's like me beefing Fiorentina fans online, you know. But whatever. What was I talking about? Oh, Milik, yeah. He's still out, so it's going to be Vlahovic. And, you know, knock on wood that I'm going to the Roma game. You know, I'm leaving next Friday. I'm out for a week. I'll do videos and so, but no lives for a week. But I'm going to the game. I don't want to watch that game with no striker up top. I want to go to that Roma game knowing that I have a couple of wingers. Like, knowing that if it doesn't go our way, we don't need to bring up next chance, and we can bring on a Conceição or a Gonzalez or actually a Koopmeiners. You know, like, that's what I want to see for that Roma game. So yeah, you got Gonzalez, Conceição. Now it's Koopmeiners. Like, Sancho shouldn't be a priority. If it's an opportunity and the club is like, yeah, we need to pounce on it because we can use him, and Motta's like, I can use him, fine. But the next signing should be Koopmeiners. Actually, on Monday, Tuesday it should be done, you know, and you should be pushing Atalanta and actually say, you know, this is actually ridiculous right now. Like, what are we trying to do here? Which is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Arsenal fans also tried to beef with us because of Vlahovic and Locatelli. They're saddest. Yeah, I mean, you can make fun of them, but if you go actually beef with Arsenal fans, that's kind of sad. Like, club-wise, it's not even close. Yeah, fan base because it's a Prem, but like history, it's not even close. Somebody's asking what happened with Julian. Life kicked in, but Julian will be back for the next podcast in September. When I'm back, we'll do a prediction podcast as usual. So once a month at least, Julian. Or like, that's the idea. Once a month, Julian will be on the channel for a podcast. The last 3 months we succeed. Let's see if we can keep it up until the end of the end of the season. Motta's gonna play Wea as a second striker. He's injured. Or you mean in general, if something happens with Vlahovic? Well, he made it clear that he's going to use Wea across the board. So you could be right. You absolutely could be right. Don't you think a dry loan for Conceição is nonsense? We're paying 7. Oh, did you just join? Did you just join? Because I can't explain what I. Otherwise, you need to go back when I end the stream. Otherwise, people need to listen to it again. But in a nutshell, there is a release clause, 30 million, so we can kind of activate that next summer. And they're basically working on good faith. That's kind of in a nutshell. The Vice Vlahovic concept is a joke until he shows us he can play consistently well, which he has not so far. I think you're. What people mean with Vice Vlahovic is just have a backup, even with injuries. I think that's what people are trying to say. Since Conceição is just alone, I think Juve might buy Sancho as well. Or no. I don't think they're going to buy Jadon Sancho. I don't think they're going to buy Jadon Sancho. I'll be stunned. I'll be stunned if they have an obligation. If it actually happens, by the way. Mr. Aura's on the bench again. Who's that? Who's Mr. Aura? Oh, Calafiori. Oh my god. Anina's patty about it. Which I don't care about Calafiori. Obi does well at Arsenal. He will get in that team. Most likely. Mbangula will go back to the next gen and Wea becomes the backup striker. Yeah, that's also a good one. What will happen with Mbangula right now? Because he's going to play tomorrow. Monday. He's going to play. Are you just telling that kid, thanks, now you're just going to play Provercelli in front of 10 people, and those 10 people being parents, you know? That's kind of the vibe you're creating with Mbangula. I don't think he's ready. He had a good game. It was against Como. Like, for a long-term season, I don't think he will be up there, me personally. But right now, you're right, Julian. Like, you have Timothy Weah, you have Yildiz, you have Conceição, you have Gonzalez, and you have Mbangula. I still see a possibility that he's going to stay. Yeah, maybe like in and out, that type of thing. But you never know. Also, people forget, and me included. I completely forgot. We still have Atsic at the club. Who is injured, and it's very interesting. Like before the summer, it was like he's going to the next gen, and then during the training camp, it was like, no, he's going to stay with the first team. Is he still going to stay with the first team? And where is he going to play? And how low down is he in the pecking order? And is it ideal for him to just stick around at this moment in time? So let's see. But right now, like at the start of the window, or like not the start of the window, the start of training camp, I was like, yeah, he's probably going to stay, you know. But right now, I have a feeling he's going to be moved out to the next gen. Is that a big blow for the player? Depends. You know, it depends on what they communicated with the player. Maybe it's like, if we don't get enough signings, then you're going to stay with the first team. If not, we prefer you to play with the next gen and come in and out, basically, into the first team. You know, I don't think they're going to loan him this late in the window. I don't think he's also injured. I don't think that's ideal as well. But let's see. Because I don't know where he's going to play. I don't know how low. Like, I know where he's going to play, but how low is he down in the pecking order? And he's still young. Like, he needs to play. He will go to the next gen loan. If we end up getting Koopmeiners and Sancho, and Mbangula and Atsic will get yeah, they will get moved to the next gen. No problem, play more and come up with injuries. But if Jadon Sancho doesn't come, I see one of them staying, but different profiles, different players. Parma is toying with Milan. What I'm missing the games, by the way. I'm going to miss them anyway, I think. Somebody in the comments, because I'm going to wrap it up. Is Parma playing at home? What are they doing? And what is the Aston Villa Arsenal result? And who else is playing in Serie A right now? Inter? No, it's late. Inter is late. Parma should win 3 until now. Still 0-0. That means Milan are going to nick it. They're winning? Udinese is winning as well? Damn. I saw that IFTV post when Lazio won. Who did Lazio beat? Venezia, another rubbish team. And they're like, oh my god, they're back. Pressing football and stuff. And I was like, yeah. That's typical Lazio. That's why I said we are not back, because we beat Como. Como are a very poor side. Verona will be much more difficult. Parma actually look good. They play some very good football, direct, and like the wingers are good. I forgot the names, but they have very good wingers. It's going to be interesting for Parma. They have a good team. Probably a lot of players unknown, but they have a good team. Going off last week's game, by the way. I'm not watching game for now. Atalanta signed Samacis and Edgar, yeah, but they're still not willing to let Koopmeiners go. So what does that mean? I don't know. The dude who scored for Manu from Romania is good. Okay, so that's kind of the breaking news. Conceição is done. Gonzalez is done. Koopmeiners is the next one up. And then it's maybe an opportunity, because I saw Alfredo Pedula talking about it again, a couple of minutes ago, like 30 minutes ago, saying that do not be surprised if they actually get Sancho or just another name that's not out there besides Koopmeiners, just attacking wise, so who knows? It seems like way too much right now, but you never know. I was not expecting us to get Conceição done today as well, and we did get it done today, and that's kind of out of the blue. It is out of the blue, 100%. It's good, but at least we have them here for the Roma game. At least we have options for the Roma game. That's that. Menu got cooked again. Yeah, they're rubbish. Like they have a rubbish coach, so they remain rubbish. Is Mbongola originally a striker or a winger? In the Belgium youths, he played as a winger. A lot of the times. I think he will be better as a winger. Even if he played as a striker, which I cannot know. Not gonna lie. He's better as a winger. Especially right now when we create a lot of space on the wings. He's better there. Yeah, like somebody saying he can play as a winger, as a striker, which in the Belgian youth setups, he played as a winger. When it's like Timothy Weah, he can play this, and this. I'm like, can he play one of them good? Then I'm fine. It's like Bernardeschi. He can play mid-ala. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. He can play on the false nine. No, he was rubbish. He couldn't play any role. So it doesn't mean, like, versatility means nothing if you're not good in at least one of them. Then you're just a squad player. I call you a squad player. You need to pin down one, or like not pin down, but you need to excel at least in one area or in one position for me to say, okay, then yeah, if you can drop in center back, but your main position is left back, but you can do a job at left back, center back, then fine. But I know you're excellent at left back, so I'm cool if you don't look amazing at center back. McKennie is a striker. Nah, he's I'm gonna wrap it off with the McKennie one, because I saw his dad again on social media, which is unbelievable. Because I might be lying. A year ago, he was praising McKennie for. No, he wasn't praising. He was calling Allegri out. Before he went to Leeds, saying, "Oh, he plays him all over the place and left wing and this. That's not how it works." Blah blah blah. The entire BS. And this week, he was tweeting out that people forget about McKennie. He's versatile. He can make runs in the box. He can play those positions. He can do this. I'm like, dude, you just called Allegri out for using him all over the place, and now you're praising him that he can play all over the place. Like, it's insane. At one point, McKennie just needs to delete his dad's account. because he's doing him more harm than good at this moment in time, because he get roasted every time. You know, it's like his dad never watched football. He just watches his son. And you can back your son, but man, you call them out. You call Allegri out for something you're trying to use as praise for McKennie, for your son right now. I'm just like, let it go. Just let it go. We know with the drill. Went out for more money, didn't get it, came back. We gave him a 1-year deal to kind of figure it out for next summer. And next summer, you're like, goodbye. That's it, you know. But yeah, people, I need to go. I definitely need to go. I'm already running late. Just came back to do this live. I'll be back tomorrow with my usual setup for not for a daily, because a daily I'm gonna need to record later tonight in this setup. But for my live show, for the preview for the Verona game, I will be live in my regular setup at 10 p.m. European time, Brussels time. Let's say that. So the usual time, 10 p.m. And let's see, maybe tomorrow we will get some more additional news on Koopmeiners or outgoings. You know, Chiesa, Kostic, Arthur, Diallo, De Sciglio still out there hanging around, and maybe we get an update on Jadon Sancho. Who knows? But yeah, that's it for me, people. Hit the like button if you haven't liked the video. Subscribe to the channel, as always, bell notification, all that stuff, because this season is going to be packed. You know, we play every 3 days almost, so it's going to be a lot more football talk, which I prefer than the drama talk we had to do all last season. But yeah, people, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again if I figure out how you end the stream on the phone. Give me 1 sec. I got it. So goodbye tomorrow. Ciao.